Okay, it's going to be part 3 of the vintage Coleman 200A black band rebuild. We're going to start with shooting some primer on this font. Okay, I'm going to take a piece of tack cloth. I'm just going to wipe the font down before I shoot my first coat of primer on there. This will remove any grit or dust, anything that might have stuck to the tank font. Okay, I'm not a professional painter, but this is the way I do it. Hey, if it works for me, it might work for you. Okay, put this in my little Coleman oven. I like to keep my temperature right at 200 degrees, give or take. Just barely above. It's about 225 right now, so that's about good. Turn it down just a hair. But I'm going to bake that about 20-30 minutes or so, just to speed up the drying time. And I'm not sure if it makes the paint any harder or not, but speeds up the drying time. Get a good finish out of it. Now, about 20-30 minutes, I'll take it out, let it cool. Give it a good sanding, 400 grit sandpaper, and I'll put another coat on it. Primer if it needs it, and if not, we'll put our first coat of paint on it. Okay, while that primer's drying on that font, let's see if we can remember how to put this burner frame back together. Okay, the main burner tube is going to go up through the center, and we're going to put that ventilator bracket on it, and the U shape or the elbow go right there, and we should be able to thread that right back up in that elbow. Alright, we got that all lined back up. Now we can take our 5/8 inch wrench, put it in there, and tighten that burner tube back down. Okay, once again, we can take a piece of leather, wrap around that burner, adjust our pliers. Once again, always use leather to protect your pieces. We're just going to snug that burner cap back down. That's all it takes. Burner frame is assembled. Good to go. Okay, let's work on this collar. I've already wiped it down with the tack cloth. Okay, I've got the fawn out of the oven, but it will hang there and cool just a few minutes. Then we'll give it a light sanding. I had mentioned that I may have to change that generator because that needle was broke off. So I got into that parts lantern and pulled the generator out of it. It was dirty on the outside, but I still wooled it down. Turned out to be that, but check this out. It's a brand new generator. Can't complain there. Okay, I've already installed my fuel pickup tube. I'm going to put this generator back on. You see it's got a small hook. You'll hook it in that centric block there. Kind of hard to do on the camera. Alright, get that hooked. Just push the generator down flush. Drop on your generator nut. Just thread it down by hand. 7/16 wrench. Snug it down. And the fuel pickup and valve are assembled. Okay, I took the tip off this generator to show you how this thing works. It's got the eccentric block in here. When you turn this tip cleaner lever, turn it down, and it brings the rod down. It lets the fuel flow through. But you turn it up, not focusing very well. Put the up position. See how the tip cleaner comes out. Turn it down, goes back in, and that pushes in and out of the tip of the generator to keep it clean. That's all that lever there is for, is just for cleaning your tip. Okay, this font's cooled down to touch, so just using a 400 grit sandpaper. This is a wet and dry sandpaper, but I'll use it dry on sanding this primer. I'm just going to lightly sand it. Okay, we gave it a light sanding. Just going to take this tack cloth and go over it. Okay, one of the reasons I like to do the light sanding on this primer, it makes the primer adhere better for another coat. And you can see, like there in my Coleman where it's etched in there, I've got a primer's a little thin on there, and a couple places around the bottom of the font. You can see the silver where I sanded down with just the light sanding, so you need to get a little better coat on those areas. The rest of it turned out really well. Okay, while the font's drying for my second coat of primer, this is the hurry up and wait part. I went inside and cleaned my globe, cleaned up pretty good. Just warm water and dishwashing liquid, and if you have some carbon built up smoke from overburn and it really gets baked on there and it's hard to get off, a good thing for that is just a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. I bring every bit of that off. So just warm dish soap and Magic Eraser if you need it. This ventilator. Going to take this 4/0 steel wool, just buff it out a little bit. down all the little corners and crevices. Okay, time for our first coat of paint. Okay, there's our first coat, fresh out of the oven. Got it hanging here cooling down. And I will give that another light sanding with the 400 grit sandpaper. And shoot another coat on it, put it back in the oven. Okay, got the lantern cooled down, out of the oven and cooled down. Time to put this thing back together. Okay, what I want to do next is I want to install the check valve. Okay, that pump leather is pretty crimped up, but it's still very pliable. I think I can bend it over as I put it back in there and get it to lay back down. Ain't no big deal to pull it out and get another one. Okay, it's time to put the valve assembly back in. Use this blue thread locker. It's going to put a little bit at the bottom of the threads. It will work its way up as you thread it in. Okay, my next step would have been to put a new decal on it, but I thought I had one or two left of the old original decal that had the yellow trim around it, which would have went to this model, like that right there. And I don't remember using my last one, but apparently I did, or I've misplaced it or something, so it's not worth the rest of my decal. So I'm going to wait till I get order me a new replacement decal for the right era for this one. Okay, there it is. Is it perfect? No. But is it going to last for years to come? Yes. First coat of paint come out really well, really shiny, and put the second coat on, and the rain came in, good cold rain, temperature dropped, got really moist in here, and my paint got like an orange peel effect to it. And I put it in the oven, dried it, and I steel wooled it, sanded it down, and steel wool, and put some mother's mag and polished it out a little bit and smoothed it out a little bit, but man, that rain killed me. But it's okay though, because this is a 1952, 4th month, 1952. So it is an old lantern, and I don't want it to look brand new. I mean, if I made it brand new, it wouldn't match the top. So, I mean, it's got its own little character there, and I think it matches it. All right, y'all know the routine. Like, share, subscribe. God bless.